In the world of shinobi, few battles could be as unpredictable as this one. The Toad Sage of Mount Myobuku versus the Monster of the Hidden Mist. On one side, Jiraiya, a legendary stand-in master of Sage Mode, and countless jutsu. On the other, Kisame Hoshigaki, the tailless-tailed beast, known for his monstrous chakra and mastery over the sea itself. A clash between fire and water. Kisame Hoshigaki, the Monster of the Hidden Mist, was one of the most feared members of the Akatsuki, known for his overwhelming strength and monstrous chakra reserves. JR once described him as a true-tailed beast without a tail. That title wasn't an exaggeration. Kisame could steal chakra and possess an amount of energy comparable to that of a beija itself. When fused with his living sword, Samihada, he became something beyond human. One of his most terrifying displays of power came during the Kazekage rescue mission, even though it was only a clone with 30% of his chakra. Kisame's presence alone was enough to terrify Team Guy. Using his Byakugan, Neji analyzed Kisame's chakra and was shocked. He said, "The last time I saw chakra like this was in Naruto, and that was only a 30% clone." During that battle, Kisame showed his devastating water-styled techniques. He created a massive lake right in the middle of the desert, proving his ability to generate and manipulate water without relying on the environment. His water sharks attacked in packs, devouring everything they touched. Even more impressive, those sharks could reform from water, endlessly continuing their assault. Samihada, his sentient blade, fed on chakra. It could sense, devour, and even transfer energy, making Kisame nearly invincible in close combat. When he completely merged with Samihada, his body grew gills and scales, transforming into a hybrid between man and shark, a predator perfectly adapted to underwater combat. In that form, Kisame earned his title as the tailed beast without a tail. His stamina, chakra, and the ability to absorb enemy energy made him seemingly limitless. Every attack against him only made him stronger, as Samihada drained and consumed chakra from every technique it touched. During his battle against Killer Bee, the Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails, Kisame revealed the true depth of his monstrous power. Even with the Hashibi strength, Bee had his chakra drained within seconds. That's when Kisame unleashed his most terrifying technique, the Water Dome, Surasamyadori no Jutsu, a massive sphere of water that trapped both combatants inside. Within this dome, Kisame was the ultimate predator. He could breathe freely while his opponents slowly drowned. Among his signature moves were the 1,000 Hungry Sharks, Senjikizami no Jutsu, and the terrifying Great Shark Bullet, Dikadan no Jutsu, capable of devouring chakra-based attacks and growing stronger with every bite. Despite his reputation for brute strength, Kisame was also highly intelligent and calculating, always waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Harijizo, hardening and extending his hair to form a living armor of spikes. In its offensive form, Ranjishigami no Jutsu, his hair could extend like serpents, wrapping and impaling enemies with precise control. But Jiraiya's greatest strength lay in his summoning techniques. He could call upon various toads, each with unique skills and personalities, all bonded to him through respect and friendship. Among them, Gamabanta, the boss toad of Mount Myobuku, was his most iconic ally. Together, they fought in legendary battles, including against Orochimaru and even the One Tail. Their combined technique, Gamayuenden, mixed Bunta's oil with Jiraiya's fire to create a massive inferno capable of incinerating everything in its path. He also summoned Gomaken, a skilled warrior toad with incredible agility, whom he relied on during his battle against the Six Paths of Pain, buying Jiraiya precious time to prepare Sage Mode. Among Jiraiya's most dangerous techniques was the toad stomach trap, Kutiosi, Gamaguchi, Shibari, which allowed him to trap enemies inside the digestive tract of a giant toad, a living, acidic dimension that once forced Itacho Uchiha and Kisame to retreat. At his peak, Jiraiya mastered Sage Mode, Senin Modo, merging his chakra with the natural energy around him to form Senjutsu chakra, far stronger than ordinary chakra. He relied on the two great toad sages, Fukasaku and Shima, to help him balance this immense power. In this state, Jiraiya gained access to unique Senjutsu techniques. Senpo Wheelmon, a combination of oil, wind, and fire, creating a sea of burning flames. Senpo Kiberi Senbone, thousands of hair needles shot at blinding speed. Senpo Chudama Resin Gun, a massive resin gun infused with natural energy. Gamma Rinshu, Demonic Toad, Chant, a genjutsu using sound, vibrations that can paralyze the enemy's nervous system. Battle simulation, Jiraiya versus Kisame. Without wasting time, Jiraiya casts Doten, Yomi Numa, the swamp of the underworld, trying to engulf Kisame. But the Cunobia of the mist responds by creating a massive sea of water, completely covering the swamp. Even at extreme depths, Kisame stands calmly on the surface, unbothered. Jiraiya unleashes a sequence of fire-style techniques, but Kisame counters with water sharks that devour the flames instantly. The attack lands, but Jiraiya's body bursts into smoke. The real Jiraiya observes. He already noticed. I can't get close to Samida. He attacks again with Ranjashigami no Jutsu, his hair snaking toward Kisame, but hits another clone. Suddenly, the real Kisame appears from above, riding a giant water shark crashing down from the sky. Both realize they've been testing each other. Now, it's time to get serious. Jiraiya summons Gamabonta, and together they perform Kaiten, Gamayu, and Den, unleashing a sea of fire that evaporates the battlefield lake. But Kisame retaliates. He conjures an even greater surge of water, summoning a massive chakra shark that feeds on enemy jutsu and grows larger with every hit. The shark devours Jiraiya's and Gamabenta's combined attack and becomes colossal. Seeing the danger, Gamabenta leaps away with Jiraiya on his back. But Kisame reacts instantly. He creates a massive water dome, a bubble so vast it swallows the entire field. Gamabenta tries to escape with another huge leap, but the dome expands too fast. Even if he escaped for a moment, the moving bubble would consume him again. Exhausted, Jiraiya looks at his ally. Return to Mount Mayobuku. I won't risk your life. Gamabenta disappears in smoke. Kisame, now fully fused with Samihada, moves closer. His Hekri, with what little energy he has left, Jiraiya summons Gamaguchi Shibari, trapping them both inside the toad's stomach. But this time it's within Kisame's massive water dome. Now, a toad within a bubble and two warriors inside the toad. The shark beast charges forward, Kisame creating more water even as the walls of the stomach begin to close in. Jiraiya forms a barrier, separating himself from the shark. But Kisame's creature bites through, devouring the toad's chakra and flesh. Even so, the toad's body regenerates, and the stomach compresses tighter and tighter. The pressure grows unbearable. Kisame continues to create water endlessly, making the toad's body swell like it's about to burst. Sense in danger. Jiraiya realizes the creature might explode or regurgitate them both. He cancels the jutsu, unwilling to sacrifice the toad's life. When the stomach vanishes, they're both back inside the enormous water bubble. Out of chakra and air, Jiraiya begins to drown, struggling to move as the water shifts around him. In the Boruto vs. Urashiki arc, Jiraiya pants on a mysterious poison in the air, saying they were all breathing it, yet it was far more potent for Urashiki. That difference came from Urashiki's Rinnegan and his manipulation of time itself. I know what you must be thinking. What about Jiraiya's Sage Mode? Let me answer that. It's not easy for Jiraiya to pull off since it's not instant. In an open field, during a battle, Kisame is way too fast to let Jiraiya prepare it. Kisame literally surfs on water and would reach him quickly for Jiraiya to even have a chance. He'd need to summon a toad and keep jumping from one side to another. On Kisame's water, being careful not to get caught by the sharks. Against pain, Jiraiya had a huge advantage because of the location. All the hidden passages, pipes, and tight corridors that allowed him to activate the sound genjutsu. But even then, that genjutsu takes some time to set up. In the manga, Jiraiya enters Sage mode faster than in the anime, where they added some extra scenes. Still, in an open field, it would be much harder depending on the opponent. So let's imagine, Jiraiya actually manages to enter Sage mode and prepare the sound genjutsu. Now he's ready for battle. The battlefield is covered in water. Jiraiya enters Sage mode with Shima and Fukasaku on his shoulders. Jiraiya releases oil. Shima breathes in deeply and unleashes fire, while Fukasaku releases wind. Their attacks collide, but Kisame's shark twists and opens its mouth, absorbing all the natural energy in water, growing even larger and stronger. Jiraiya then creates a big ball, Rasengan, and charges forward. But the shark swallows it in a spiral, dissipating the chakra within seconds. Kisame smirks. This is my ultimate jutsu. Dakodan no Jutsu. This shark doesn't just devour chakra, it grows stronger from it. The more you attack, the stronger it becomes. With a single hand seal, Kisame quickly creates a giant water dome that engulfs everything around. Inside this bubble, he completely fuses with Samihade, gaining gills and incredible speed. Jiraiya may be skilled in taijutsu, but inside the bubble, Kisame has the upper hand. Jiraiya struggles to breathe, but the dome moves along with him. There's no escape. Kisame can attack from a distance using water jutsu. Jiraiya's only way out would be to summon a toad, jump inside its mouth, and use reverse summoning to escape. Would the sound genjutsu work here? The answer is no. Even Pain, knowing it was a genjutsu, still fought Jiraiya and took a while to be affected. Kisame, who's much faster, would notice something's off immediately and simply back away. He wouldn't make the same mistake as Pain, who knew it was a genjutsu but stayed close and kept fighting. Now, if Kisame tried to absorb Jiraiya's sage chakra, would he turn to stone? Let's break it down. Normal chakra is made of physical energy body, spiritual energy mind. When entering sage mode, the ninja adds natural energy nature around them. The result is denser, more powerful chakra, sage chakra. Fukasaku explains it. To enter sage mode, you must perfectly balance the three energies: physical, spiritual, and natural. The secret lies in perfect balance. If you absorb too little natural energy, sage mode won't activate. Absorb too much and you'll turn to stone. So, sage chakra only exists when all three are equal. For example, 33.3% physical, 33.3% spiritual, 33.3% natural. If you pull in more natural energy, that's when the danger begins. For example, 30% physical, 30% spiritual, 40% natural. Now the natural energy overpowers the others, your body can't handle it, and you turn to stone. During Naruto vs. Pain chapter 432, the Preta path absorbed both Jiraiya's big ball Rasengan and Naruto's sage Rasen Shuriken with ease. But when Pain tried to absorb chakra directly from Naruto's body, things changed. Naruto realized what was happening and thought, if he's absorbing my sage chakra, then I just need to take in even more natural energy. By doing that, Naruto overloaded the Preto path. It couldn't balance the energy, and it turned to stone instantly from the excess natural energy. Now, if that had been the real Nagato instead of the Pretza path, it would have taken much longer. Nagato had massive chakra reserves, comparable to a Jinchuriki. His pain bodies split that power among them, which made each weaker individually. So the original Legaito could have held on longer before turning to stone. Enough. In Kisame's case, he absorbs chakra incredibly fast, especially with Samihada, which literally drinks living chakra. Against Killer Bee in version 2, Cloak, Samihada drained the chakra almost instantly and reverted him back to version 1. So, if Kasumi absorbed sage chakra directly from Jiraiya, would he turn to stone? The logic is the same as with the Nagato, because Kisame's chakra reserves are enormous, roughly equal to 3 Naruto's. Neji, Byakugan. He notices a massive amount of chakra emanating from Kisame. Neji's surprised. The last time I saw a chakra like this was in Naruto. The Kisame before them is just a clone with only 30% of his true power. If this clone only represents 30% of Kisame's true strengths, 500%等于 Naruto. This means the real Kisame's chakra is equal to 3 Naruto plus an extra 10% to spare. Plus a bit more, Jiraiya, who has less chakra than Naruto, wouldn't be able to overload him. Samihara absorbs too quickly for Jiraiya to even build up that much natural energy. Would Samihara itself turn to stone? The answer is no, if we apply chakra logic. It has both physical and spiritual energy, and it can hold an immense amount of chakra. Remember, it absorbed Killer Bee's full version 2 cloak, meaning Jiraiya doesn't have enough chakra to overload it either. Samihara doesn't keep all that chakra for itself. It shares it with Kisame, who has even greater capacity. So, in the end, Sage Mode becomes a disadvantage for Jiraiya. It takes time to activate, and just a single touch from Kisame's Samihara would drain his Sage chakra instantly, forcing him out of Sage Mode.